Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. It is so nice to say not welcome back to pre-season, but welcome back to game week 1 because we are midway through. And what we do every Sunday morning on this channel, I have said it for all of last season and I hope it remains this season. This is my best content. My Sunday debrief videos are my favorite content to do because this is going to be a football chat with a huge element of fantasy, but we are going to be talking things like tactics. We're going to be talking average position maps. We're going to be talking XG plots. This is a taster of things to come when we're reviewing Liverpool, Bournemouth later and all the games. We'll be going through all the shot maps, the average positions. We'll be taking screen grabs from the play. Why did Bournemouth score 2? How did they? And how will that change? And does that mean we're swerving Liverpool defence moving forward? Lots to go through. But first, we're going to have a nice little hello. So, guys, for you lot watching on Catch Up, and there are lots of you watching on Catch Up, what I'm going to do is we're only going to take comments from the live chat when we're doing these shows. We're going to take them live when we're on that specific game. So we are going to spend 10 minutes per game, right? We're going to go through the, 6 games so far. We had 5 on Saturday. We had 1 on Friday night. We're going to spend 10 minutes on each game. We're going to involve the live chat. We're going to involve you guys at watching on Catch Up. You can drop a comment. But first, let's just set the scene with a little intro, shall we? We're going to start with Man City. Then we're going to get to Liverpool. But before we do that, shout out to everyone watching. Mark Southerns is in the house. Mark, thank you for watching. I'm super excited to have you on board this morning. I love these shows. So I don't know if you've ever seen a Sunday debrief, but I hope you'll enjoy it. And there's an element of data in it, but mainly it's I'm a visual learner. And I hope a lot of my followers are visual learners, so it's a lot of tactic stuff, a lot of pass maps and average position maps. Guys, where in the world are you watching from? I know from doing these early streams, we have loads of you watching from Australia, like Gucci, loads in the Far East. This early time slot, I think, probably lends itself quite well to those maybe who are enjoying their Sunday evening. So, guys, hit me up with some countries and then let's get into it. Finland represented straight in. India, Nigeria, the Midlands. I'm also in the Midlands. Gucci is in Melbourne. The Gold Coast, Australia. Spain, Stoke. From Spain to Stoke to India. That's what we love. Guys, thank you so much. Right, let's get started, shall we? I just want to start with a few bits from the Scout members area. They've got a risers and fallers tracker, and they have it, their algorithm has it as Reijnders straight away, one of the risers. But first, who are the fallers? No one's going to fall tonight, unlikely. But as the week goes on, expect price drops for Isak, and I think expect price drops for Florian Wirtz. That's for sure. Remember, the start of the season sees a volatile transfer market. We will see players rise and fall. We'll see players rise 0.2. Someone like Reijnders is likely to rise tonight. He didn't rise Saturday night. I thought he might rise Saturday night. He didn't. He's going to rise Sunday night. Ekatike probably the same. By Monday. Semenyo probably by Monday. Watch this space for some of the price rises. There are many buying Reijnders, and we do have a poll running in the chat. Now, 70% of you own him. And I hope that those that watch this channel are even more likely to own him because I've been banging on about him for a month. 9% are looking to buy him this week and 21% won't own. So those 9%, don't feel like you have to go early. There's a lot of football to be played. You might have players in Monday night you want to hold. Unless you're selling a 5.5 midfielder for him and you need to beat the price rise, probably wait till Monday Night Football if you've got players in that game would be my advice. Guys, thank you all for watching. If you want to hit that like button and subscribe, that would be awesome. The defensive contributions, we love. We're absolutely loving them. It's changing the way I'm watching football. We're going to get to the game-by-game breakdown in literally 3 minutes' time. Just wanted to show you on Scout the DEFCON points for midfielders. Tavernier with 20 was a shock for me. Tyler Adams is a DEFCON beast, especially with no Christie in the team. We'll look at Adams' role in a minute. Adams is going to get DEFCON in like 60-70% of his games. Weefer's a DEFCON beast, right back inverted. Shame he's not listed as a defender. And Andre as well from last season. Nico Gonzalez, whoever plays the Rodri role at City, has a good chance of DEFCON as well. In terms of Baleba, by the way, Baleba got subbed early. He was on for 11. How annoying. He would have got the 12 if he had stayed on for 90. Van Dijk, Senesi, and Ait-Nouri was highly owned with 15 defensive contributions. Now, what we've seen with Ait-Nouri is he also won out in the bonus point system. And we're going to talk about the bonus point system later when we talk about Man City, because Reijnders goal and assist. Aït-Nouri, no attacking returns, but got a bonus. Reijnders didn't. I think that's completely fair. We know the metrics when we go into it. Tijjani Reijnders was offside. He missed a couple of chances. I think he committed 3 fouls in the game and he got booked. That's like minus probably 8 or 9 off the top of my head, like quick maths, which will be wrong. So Reijnders did some bad things for bonus point system. Obviously, he caught the eye and obviously he was player of the match, but that doesn't always mean 3 bonus points. And fair play to Aït-Nouri owners because he actually got 9 points and Reijnders got 10. And Reijnders gets the headlines, but Aït-Nouri putting up trees as well yesterday. A few just missed out on bonus. Kilman, we know he's good at it. Diakate, Van Heck, a Renildo with eight contributions as well there. And Dan Ballard, wow, we're going to talk about him as well. Don't get carried away with him coming close. Salah got 9 recoveries, yeah. I was watching the game, Mark, and I think I said, has Salah ever got a defensive contribution point? Would he have ever hit the threshold? And as Mark says, first time since 2018, he got 9. So yeah, he ain't going to get 10 probably this season. It was just one of those games. Happy coffee morning, guys. I hope you're all in the same boat there. By the way, it's a privilege to have Mark with us. Thank you, mate, for joining. I'll get to the good stuff now because I'm waiting to see this. Reijnders in for a -4. We'll talk about Reijnders when we get to City. In fact, we're going to have to start with City. This is all from Scout members area. If you're not in the Scout members area, give it a shot. Like, it's now the time to sign up. Scan the QR code or link in description. I've also got, it's 40% off with the link, but if you enter the code JANIFFS, it's an additional 5. All of this is in the description of the video, guys. So check it out. If you want to be in the Scout members area, it's somewhere I spend a lot of time. The fixture ticker, by the way, filtered on difficulty in Scout from game week 2 to 6, puts Bournemouth right at the top. Yes, Semenyo is going to get a lot of love. Semenyo's fixtures were always good, but he just looked at game week 1 and hated it. Semenyo and Reijnders are both going to get a lot of love this week. We'll talk about my team later. Let's get on to the games. This show isn't about my team, thankfully, because when I have a dreadful rank later this year, I don't really want to be talking about it on a Sunday morning. Right. Wolves versus Man City. I enjoyed this game so much. Proper Saturday night football is back. And straight away, the XG plot just shows us the dominance. I didn't think Wolves were that bad. Certainly for the first half an hour, Wolves looked all right. You can see Man City, first big chance came 20 minutes in. But what Wolves just didn't do, they didn't manage to create chances of their own. And that's because Man City dominated possession. And this is what happens against Man City. When you've got a huge amount of the ball, the other team just can't hurt you. So often is the case against Man City. Teams rely on quick counter-attack, smash and grabs. But Man City were really careful in transition. They didn't allow themselves to be beat. I thought Nico Gonzalez had an awesome game playing the Rodri role, but Rico Lewis played inverted. And this was really interesting from the fullbacks because when Pep has Mateus Nunes and Aït-Nouri at fullback and has inside forwards on the wings, let's say he goes with a Foden and a Cherki, and we might, or a Marmoush, and we will see that. The fullbacks will get forward. They'll get so far forward. And we'll see Mateus Nunes high and wide on the right and Aït-Nouri high and wide on the left. But yesterday he went with wingers. When he goes with wingers, the fullbacks have to be more controlled. So he played Doku high and wide, Oscar Bob high and wide, Rico Lewis inverted. This is old school Pep. And he played Aït-Nouri in a very reserved left-back position. Now, this was great for Aït-Nouri's defensive contributions. This was great for Aït-Nouri's bonus points. It wasn't good for Aït-Nouri's goals and assists. That didn't matter. He effectively picked up an assist. He got 3 additional points. An additional point for a bonus and 2 additional for a DEFCON. Fair play Aït-Nouri owners, because I know we got a lot of love when we saw that Gvardiol wasn't involved. So in terms of average shape and position, you're not going to see this every week from Pep. Pep picks based on opponent. Some weeks it will be out and out wingers. Some weeks it will be Marmoush and Foden. It will be inside forwards. And when we see that, that's when you go, oh, fullbacks. Fullback's going to get some love. You'll see Mateus Nunes playing a lot on the right back. The big headline from this game, though, was Tijjani Reijnders. I think we can all agree if you watch the game, and even if you look at the data, Tijjani Reijnders absolutely shone. Now, I'm delighted. So thanks, FPL team in the house. Good to see you guys. I will flash up some comments. By the way, any comments on Man City, I will bring them up. Sorry, I've been neglecting the chat for the last couple of minutes. I'd like to think I've got a good a good percentage of my subs are on Reijnders. I really hope you are. I think you are, because you know how much I've been in a loving with Tijani Reijnders all pre-season. And look, the FPL pricing was brilliant this season. Mark and the team have done an amazing job. There are very few players you could argue are more than 0.5, because it's subjective for a lot of it, are 0.5 higher or lower than what you think they should be. You might think Haaland's 0.5 too much. You might think Marmoush is 0.5 too much, whatever. There is one player that I would argue is way out. Way out might be unfair. A good portion out. For those that played Serie A Fantasy last year, you will know, and for those that looked at his data and have watched him for a long time, Tijani Reijnders is a monster. And 10 goals, 3 assists in Serie A, playing for a very bad AC Milan team. AC Milan didn't get European football last year, right? Tijani Reijnders still popped up with the 10 league goals. And he's not on pens, remember. 3 assists. In a Pep team that has more of the ball and better players around him and at the top of the league, you're going to get more than that. And I just felt like he was a cheat code at 5.5. I'd have priced him at like 7.5. Genuinely, I think he was considerably out. And I know FPL have to be really careful because they know Pep Roulette. They know, and it's easy to say now, right? I'm not trying to do the hindsight thing. They know Pep Roulette exists, and they know players to new leagues don't always take. The thing with Tijani Reijnders is the Club World Cup was a big indicator that Pep was going to throw him straight in. He started 3 or 4 games. In fact, I tweeted about it. Is this tweet? Yeah, at the bottom. City's 4 Club World Cup games. 3 of them he played 90 minutes. He only signed a couple of days before the Club World Cup, and he chucked him straight in. One of those games was alongside Rodri against Juve. I watched it live. It was brilliant. And I just thought Reijnders is a perfect fit in this team. So yeah, this was my tweet after the Palermo game, being like, please don't see me put him in and go, I've only put him in because of a brace versus Palermo. Obviously that contributed, but there was a real loving for me and Reijnders as a standout 5.5 pick all pre-season. And I'm glad I went there. Sorry, I've tweeted here, 10 goals, 5 assists for 8th place Milan. Not 10 and 3. Got that wrong. God, I said 3 assists on Sky the other morning. 10 and 5. Even better. He's going to play the Gundo role. So look, Tijani Reijnders in a nutshell is someone we want in our teams, right? Guys, if you are enjoying the video, please hit that subscribe button. I've almost got to 4K pre-season. I'd love to continue that. So hit subscribe, hit like, and let's carry on talking about Reijnders and City. This was his goal, by the way. He's a right-footed player. This was a through ball from Bob, first-time finish. You can see where the ball goes, right? Bottom left, but keeper's left. Just such a strong finisher. He's a brilliant box crasher. He can play 6, he can play 8, he can play 10. And we don't have to worry about Pep Roulette with or without Rodri, guys. He's going to be in the team. Obviously, all players will get rotated. All players will get injured. He's firmly first choice. I can promise you that. At the moment, anyway. In terms of where we were with bonus and DEFCON, we spoke about why he didn't get bonus. And I love the bonus point system. People go, oh, he got man of the match, got player of the match. It's like, yeah, but we know the metrics of the bonus point system, so we should pick accordingly. It's not man in the stand anymore, right? We know you are punished for things like offside. You're punished for missing the target. You're punished for committing fouls. Tijani Reijnders committed 3 fouls. You're punished for picking up yellow cards. I think that's -2 or -3, can't remember. There was 32 metrics to the bonus point system. They added a few more last year, and they've added even more this year. So I don't know the number. It's about 38, 39 metrics to the bonus point system. And you can see it was really tight, right? Aït-Nouri on 33, Reijnders on 32, Trafford on 31. It is what it is. But let's go back just to the actual game and the plot. And I want to look at Wolves too. So in terms of shots, we saw 15 shots, 4 goals. Good conversion. We had a lot of games last season for Man City where they racked 20 shots, 20 plus shots and scored 1 or no goals. That was a big problem for Man City last year. Haaland wasn't as clinical, but the attacking lineup was struggling to create big chances and convert. Well, here we've got players scoring from low XG shots. The Cherki goal, we can see there on the edge of the box. Low XG. The Reijnders goal just inside the box. Low XG. Yes, Haaland scored his big chance there at the back stick. But some low XG chances. They're looking like they're going to be clinical. If Bob and Doku can get in behind for pullbacks for Haaland, Haaland's going to have so many tap-ins. So many tap-ins. Marmoush, don't worry, because we're not always going to see this setup. If you own Marmoush, don't freak out. We're not always going to see wingers. we're going to see Marmoush, we're going to see Foden, we're going to see Cherky playing in some of these wide roles, and we're going to see Aït-Nouri and Mateus Nunes right back massively overlapping. If I owned Marmoush, I wouldn't sell him yet. I think he probably starts next week, but let's just see. Oh, thank you so much, Gucci. Wow, that is so generous. Love being an ultra, and I'm sure I speak for all of us when I say much appreciated how much you managed to keep the group engaging. Oh, mate. That is very generous of you, Gucci. And our Ultras chat is awesome. We're all in there last night cheering on Neil Robertson, who's, again, one of our Aussies in the Ultras. Neil is obviously former world snooker champion. He's currently playing in Riyadh. He's playing some of the best snooker of his career. So there's only 30 of us in there, and we keep it intimate. Gucci's one from Melbourne. Neil is another from Melbourne. We got a couple of spots left, max. If you want to join, hit the join button below. I want to keep the group tight, so it's not open to all, but it's open to the next couple that want to join. Thank you, mate. It's very, very kind of you to say. And big up Neil, yeah, another one of our ultras, Sammy, and it was so good to see Sammy the other night. Reijnders lost 14 BPS. That's huge. I think I guessed it'd be 8 or 9. 14. That's mad. That is mad, isn't it? So being offside, shots off target. I think he had 2 shots off target. Shots on target, by the way, guys, are fine. Shots off target aren't. And missing big chances is also a minus. This is, again, it's rare you'll lose 14, but that is huge. Being tackled. So not just committing fouls, but being tackled. And he did. I noticed he was tackled a lot. Is anyone else changed the way that they watched the game because of DEFCON? Honestly, I was watching it like every minute I was going, oh, Aït-Nouri's picked up another tackle. Oh, another clearance from him. We watch it for goals and assists and a little bit for bonus contributions, good things like creating a big chance. But now we're watching it for DEFCON. It is really fascinating. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Hope you guys are as well. In fact, we're a few days in, so let's end the poll about Reijnders. Let's do a poll now about DEFCON. Guys, we're going to move on from City in a minute. Are you enjoying the DEFCON edition? I absolutely, and I know it's going to be a mixed bag. And look, I reckon by the end of the season, it will be an outstanding yes. I'm guessing now it's going to be more of a split pot. But don't complain about the bonus points when he lost 14 points. In fact, I'm going to keep that up. Let's just go through. So I'm doing this all on one tiny screen on a MacBook. Yeah, done that one, and this was the finish from Reijnders. Love that. I'm gonna this year try and clip a few bits. Now, unfortunately, because of the dimensions of my screen, I want to keep the Scout QR code on. I need to have a little slither of me. Maybe that could be a bit tighter. When I do the screen grabs from games, they've got to be square, and I probably want wider angles for more of a tactical stuff. So I'll think about how I move forward with that. So when we get to Liverpool, I've got some wider shot tactical things I want to show you. Mateus Nunes, guys, I'm sorry. I said pre-season, Mateus Nunes will be the starting right back this season. I still think he will be, but clearly he was always going to be a risky pick. Always going to be a risky pick. So yeah, Rico Lewis did really well yesterday. Really, really well. Okay, Wolves, by the way. Interesting that Hoover started right wing back. They're making signings, Wolves. He's probably not going to continue. Agbadou is a DEFCON beast, and we knew that pre-season. Agbadou could be one of the standout 4.5s. Andre in the middle of the park did so well. And then Strand Larsen, he was starved of service. What we didn't see yesterday was we didn't see Arias in the starting 11. And guys, that was pretty much because they were playing Man City. I'm fairly confident. No, I would expect Arias to be starting against more mediocre opposition. Let's just put it that way. So let's look at the Wolves fixtures moving forward and the Man City fixtures moving forward. Wolves have got Bournemouth away, Everton at home. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start one of those two, if not both of them. Okay, and then Man City moving forward, for those in the market for Reijnders, is Tottenham at home next week. Tottenham look much better defensively, but actually I thought Burnley should have scored yesterday. And when we see that game in a minute, you'll realise Burnley actually had a couple of chances. Vicario, I think, ended on 2 bonus, made 4 or 5 saves. I expect Reijnders and City to win. Only Haaland is nailed, probably. There's a difference between nailed and first choice. There are first choice players in that Man City attack. Reijnders is first choice. I probably wouldn't say Reijnders is nailed. We're talking every time you're fit, you're going to start. Probably is only Haaland, but Reijnders is not far behind that. And I know it's reacting to one game, but it's what we saw in the Club World Cup. It's knowing why Pep wanted him, what skill set he has, the quotes Pep has said. If you're buying Reijnders, you've not got to worry too much about Pep Roulette. I promise you that. I thought Manetzi had a good game. Shame he's always offside. But for the time being with Wolves, Agbadu and Strand Larsen are still my pick. Sorry, my voice is very croaky from Fest. Right. Let's move on away from Man City. I think we've done enough there. Defensive stuff on Man City, by the way. Gvardiol was out. You're going to see Ruben Diaz right centre-back. Gvardiol left centre-back a lot. I don't think Aït-Nouri is going to come out this team for Gvardiol at left-back much at all this season, if at all. Gvardiol is now a centre-back. Picture him as one, right? Aït-Nouri is a perfectly fine pick, and you haven't got to worry about regular starts for him. I really, really don't think so. Okay, let's move on away from Man City and get to Liverpool-Bournemouth. After Liverpool, we'll do... thanks, Sammy. Good to know you enjoyed Fest. It was lovely to see you, and thank you so much for my book. Sammy bought me How to Win the Premier League. I recommended the XG philosophy to him, which I've got in my room here somewhere, and X Genius. And off the back of reading those books, Sammy was like, oh, if you love XG philosophy and X Genius, you're going to love this. So I'm super excited. If you love this sort of stream, you're probably going to love those books too. X Genius is my personal favorite, the second one from XG philosophy. Check that out. All right. Absolutely regular starter, yeah. All right. Yeah, Spurs, fair point, it'll be this PSG setup. It'll be a back five. Absolutely will be. Porro will be right wing back. We'll get to Spurs in a minute, though. Let's talk Liverpool. Fair play, Bournemouth. What did we say all pre-season? God, it sounds like I got a lot wrong pre-season. I said Mateus Nunes was going to be starting right back. But two of my big points on this channel, we did a stream every day, right? Was about Reijnders being great and about making sure you go double Liverpool attack because they're going to score so many goals. And for me, personally, it was avoid the Liverpool defence because they're all 6 million. And I felt like Liverpool were going to concede more this season. And I still think that's the case. I think Liverpool will score more goals and they will concede more goals. And I think this game was a good indicator for that. And I just listened this morning to Jamie Carragher's post-match comments with interview with Slot. And Jamie Carragher's alluded to similar to what we're saying here. It's like, you're committing a lot of numbers. Is that the way you want to play? And he's like, Slot said something like, would you rather I play with 11 men behind the ball? It's just what he's going to do. Now, we'll get to the goals in a minute and the screen grabs. But throughout the game, it was pretty much level pegging. One team has a chance, the other team has a chance. It was a basketball game. It was end-to-end. And the XG plot shows now. Now, sure, around the 40-minute mark, Liverpool came into their own. They scored a couple of goals, either side of half-time. Ekitike and then Gakpo. And then it was obviously 2 late goals and a bit of a smash and grab. If the final whistle goes at 80, you go, yeah, it's a fair game. Liverpool did do very well in the last 10, and they have got options off the bench. Chiesa will give you that. I mean, if they sign Isak, Ekitike will give you that. We'd see Florian Wirtz come off, but I get it. And it worked. Big chances are plenty. Bournemouth managed big chances at Anfield. Not many teams do that. Maybe we'll see that more this season. And lots of shots in the box from Liverpool. 19 shots, 15 of them in the box. Not bad going. That's a good ratio from Liverpool there. And Bournemouth, again, 8 of their shots in the box. That's fairly dangerous moving forward. Salah average position hasn't changed. For all of the chat pre-season, Salah's going to be too wide. Salah's a year older. Salah's not going to be as good. We have to remember Salah comes into his own in football matches in the last 20 minutes. That's what makes him, that's what takes Salah from an excellent FPL asset, because he's already excellent, to the game's best ever FPL asset. He punishes teams late on when the game's often already won. We've seen it so many times. Liverpool 3-0 up. All your attackers come off, but Mo Salah still gets 90. And he goes and makes it 4. And you're like, oh, of course, it's just what he does. Late on in games, Salah, because he's a fitness monster, because he's got such a huge amount of like individual motivation to hit targets. Like, this is the elite mentality. He doesn't, you think a lot of players at 3-0 up, and I know they weren't 3-0 up against Bournemouth, but even at 3-2 up, the game's won, right? To Salah, it's not won until he scored. He goes and scores. Shock. There would have been so many knee-jerk managers selling Mo Salah if the game had finished 2 minutes earlier. Let that be a reminder to you. This is what he does. Okay? Don't go knee-jerk in Salah. Now, the reason Liverpool are going to concede more goals is last season, Florian Wirtz there, you can see, was Szoboszlai last year. It was a midfield two. So where Szoboszlai and McAllister were, it was Gravenberch and McAllister. And Szoboszlai played the Wirtz role, but played it slightly deeper. Sorry, Wirtz. It is Wirtz. I've heard a video with him telling us it's Wirtz. So this year, we have a front four. Last year, the front three had no defensive responsibility. Salah, the left winger, and the number 9 didn't do much defending. Defend from the front, but in terms of tracking back, none. This year, it's gone from 3 with no defensive responsibility up top to 4 with no defensive responsibility up top. Florian Wirtz also doesn't have the defensive responsibility because you've gone from a midfield 3, which is Szoboszlai, to a midfield 3 that has Wirtz. Okay? So you've already one man down, and then you add Frimpong into the mix, who just wants to attack. Liverpool are going to concede more goals. I know Gravenberch didn't play, and Gravenberch will help combat that. But Liverpool aren't going to keep, I don't think, a huge amount of clean sheets if they keep playing like this, because Frimpong wants to gallop forward and he wants to play that front four. And I think that's fine if you stop, because he's going, we don't need to win clean sheets to win the title. We need to score more goals than the opposition and win games. And I think that's what he's doing. I think that's what he's going to do. So we're going to see a lot of 2 versus 2s, 3 versus 3s, 4 versus 4s. So this is the first goal, right? This is the first goal. Look at this ball played in on transition. Sets up a 3 versus 3. And Semenyo then scores. That is rogue. Not many teams in the Premier League leave yourselves 3 versus 3. That was the first goal. And you can see Endo, the right back. So Endo had come on for Frimpong by this point. You see where it says on the very far of the screen, where it says it's got a little Instagram icon. That's Endo in the white boots. The right back shouldn't be there out of possession. Ideally, when you're 2-1 up, the right back is on the halfway line. Marking is that Alex Scott with his socks down. The commitment of numbers forward when you're winning a football match at 2-1 feels bold from Arne Slot. Feels very bold. But this is why I want double attack. Welcome, Chai. We'll get to your Haaland brace in a minute, mate. Fair play. Chai captain Haaland doesn't own Salah. And he also owns Gakpo. 3 versus 3 at 2-1 up. Rogue. And then what happens? Couple of minutes later, it's a 4 versus, well, it's a 2 versus 2 or a 4 versus 3, however you see this. What? Like, no, you're too, sorry. This was at 2-0 up. Ignore the top of the screen because it's the replay. This was at 2-0, right? They're galloping forward. And then this was at 2-1. And to make it 2-2. Semenyo's equaliser. It's too attacking if you want to keep clean. So look, just know, if you're picking a Van Dijk or you're picking Frimpong, you're probably not going to get a huge... You will get cleans, of course you're going to, because Liverpool will have the ball and they've got very good defenders. But the way they're committing men forward, you're going to see a lot of 3-4 goal games. And you're going to see a lot of basketball end-to-end stuff. And look, Florian Wirtz, look at this position. Wirtz was dangerous. Wirtz could have had an assist. Like, Wirtz will have games where he has loads of passes, isn't around the box, short passes that are excellently finished by Gakpo and Ekitike or Salah, and he's going to get loads of assists. Do not knee-jerk Florian Wirtz, guys. He was the player of the match for me in the Community Shield. He didn't have a bad game versus Bournemouth. I think at 8.5, he's a great buy. Keep him in your team. Okay. Many Liverpool comments. Yeah, more XGI than Reijnders. There you go. Was a ghost playing at left wing back. He didn't play left wing back. And he's on corners, remember. He's on all the corners. So Bournemouth, fair play. Semenyo was great. David Brooks, nice position from him. The fullback still got forward. I thought Truffer is going to be a great buy. Kirk's replacement, Truffer, is going to be a very good pick at 4.5 million. And Senesi got DEFCON. Nice. Defensive contributions, you're not going to see this much, but like midfielders there, pretty high. Pretty cool. So Tavernier, 20 DEFCON. Virgil, 21. Virgil would have got it twice. It's capped at 2. He could have got 4 points. Szoboszlai there, high. And Mo Salah with 10. Fun. Tyler Adams, when he plays in this role, And remember, Christie's out injured or coming back very soon. I think he's back in training. Tyler Adams is going to be a DEFCON beast. Ceci should have been sent off. I don't know. And the problem with Ekatike is, guys, we're going game by game. If you don't like the game we're on, I will put chapters in this video so you can skip forward. Shall we move on from Liverpool? And look, in a nutshell, don't sell Wirtz. Going to keep making that mistake. And double Liverpool attack is still going to be wise. Liverpool defence ain't going to be bad, but don't expect bundles of clean sheets. I don't think they'll be the best defensive team in the league this year. And last year, who kept the most clean sheets? Liverpool. Or was it Forest? It was Forest, then Liverpool and Arsenal. I think it was 14, 13, 13 or something. I don't know if they're going to be a top 2 defence this year. I think they might be a top 4 defence, not a top 2. And Semenyo is going to be great. The fixture ticker suggests Bournemouth, top of the ticker from difficulty for the next 5 game weeks. Right, let's move on, shall we, to... What game do you want to get to next? Oh, we've got to get to Spurs. I've got so many Ultras channel members that are Spurs fans. So let's get to Spurs. By the way, guys, every Sunday morning, either at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. in this sort of time zone, I will do these Sunday debriefs, breaking down the Saturday games. Spurs versus Burnley, 3-0. Burnley had their chances. Like, I'm not saying Burnley should have got something from the game. They shouldn't have. But 0.83 is not bad. Of course, Spurs are better defensively. Did someone say kudos? Now, let's see how Spurs lined up. By the way, hang on a minute. Come on. Who's going to be first to get it? What did we call Brentford last season? And what did I say we're going to call Spurs this season? Come on, who's going to be first in the chat? Who watches my content regularly to know what I called Brentford last season? Just come on, get your guesses in. What did I call Brentford last season? Who's going to get it? Big chance, Brentford. You all know it. Come on. It's big chance Brentford. And what are they going to be now? Big chance Spurs. It's so obvious. Oh, first Premier League game. What do we see? Thomas Frank telling his team, if you're going to have 17 shots, only 3 or 4 of them are allowed to be outside the box. He doesn't let you shoot from distance. Yeah, he had a couple. And they're still learning, right? I promise you, in the next few weeks, we're going to see even fewer shots from outside the box. Thomas Frank didn't let you do it, right? You're not going to get an absolute caning if you do. And there'll be the occasional worldie. But more often than not, he's going to drum into his players. If you're in those positions outside the box, you don't shoot because you've got no chance. Now, it's all about chaos in the box. Sammy is a Brentford fan. He knows it. And it's about working up to big chances. Look how many big chances. The bigger the circle, the bigger the chance. Who's going to be the biggest beneficiary? Richarlison or Solanke, whoever's playing number 9. Now, Richarlison's absolutely earned his spot and he will start versus City. Of course he will. There might be a world in which you see Richarlison and Solanke against City because he does go 3-5-2 against teams like City, like PSG. So what we saw from Spurs yesterday, it was so predictable. Against PSG, Thomas Frank, just like when he went to Liverpool at Brentford, you play a back 5. And against PSG, you played a back 5. When you're at home, when you're playing against easier opposition like Burnley, just like he did at Brentford, for Spurs, he played a back 4. What's interesting here is this won't be the lineup versus Man City. He goes to Man City next week. Pedro Porro and Jed Spence will be wing backs, or Udogie if he's back fit, and Danzo will come in. Danzo, Van de Ven and Romero will all be the centre backs. He could play a front 2 of Kudus and Richarlison. He could play a front 2 of Solanke and Richarlison. I think it'll be Kudus, Richarlison down the middle like it was against PSG. It makes Kudus an amazing asset because in a 4-3-3, this is the Mbermo last year. In a 4-3-3, where was Mbermo's average position at Brentford? It was where Kudus is now. In a 3-5-2, where was Mbermo's position at Brentford? Alongside Visser up top. And that's where Kudus played versus PSG. And that's where Kudus will probably play next week. So look, if you're on Kudus, you're laughing. You're absolutely laughing because it's another game where you go, yeah, this is just reinforced that he's going to be the Mbermo. Now, 2 assists in the game, bonus points, proper attacking outlet. Everyone's watched this and gone, he should have been the 6.5 midfielder I went to. He's a great buy. Spurs don't have the best fixtures, Man City, but then it's Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Wolves. It's fine, but obviously Champions League comes in soon as well. Let's see how they need to rotate and see how they are off the back of a Wednesday night Champions League game to a Saturday game. But look, they've just shown us in the Super Cup. That was Wednesday night in Udinese, and then they're in Udin, and they're back in London on a Saturday 3:00 kickoff. No signs of fatigue yet, but maybe that kicks in. So look, fair play Spurs. They're going to be better defensively, and the defenses are great pickups. But Kudus and Richarlison are good buys. Richarlison, 6.5 million. He will stay in the team until he has a couple of stinkers, in my opinion. Now, this was the goal. We've all seen the average position and gone, oh, Richarlison's quite deep. And this is what Thomas Frank wants his 9 to do. We saw it with Visser. Often would come deep on the ball and feed an Mbeumo, or he'd feed a Kevin Schade. Well, Brennan Johnson is Kevin Schade, and Kudus is Mbeumo. And Richarlison's Visser, right? It's the same thing. And we know from Schade, and we know from Mbeumo, that the wide forwards in a 4-3-3 are going to get loads of points. What did they do yesterday? Kudus, 2 assists, and Brennan Johnson with a goal. Papsar picks the ball up in the middle of the field. It's Richarlison, I think, there in the orange boots, like rolling round, isn't it? So he's just probably won the ball. I can't remember the phase before that. Sarr picks it up and he slides in Brennan. Brennan with a finish. Like, you can see that. And look where Kudus is. That average position we see right there is literally that. Same position. So that's where we're at with Spurs. Guys, if you're enjoying these streams, I would love you to do one thing this morning, and that is subscribe. Because if you subscribe with the notification bell, you'll know when I'm live. And I don't want you to miss these Sunday morning debriefs live, because whether you're watching on catch up or not, I genuinely think this is my best. It's the content I enjoy doing most, right? Throughout the week. And I genuinely mean that. I've said that for the last year. It's not my most watched video by any stretch, but it's the video that I enjoy making, and I would love you to come and enjoy the ride on Sunday morning. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you can. And if you're already subbed, notification bell. I don't think we need to talk about Burnley. Like, this is what a pass map should look like, right? When you got possession, you can create these, but proper identity. And with Spurs under Postecoglou, we didn't see many pass maps like this. Even when they had 60% of possession, you didn't see the identity. What are they trying to do? It's very clear what they're trying to do here. And obviously, it's unfair to judge Burnley in a game where they're away from home against one of the top teams. So we're not going to read too much into this, but this is what it looks like. We don't have much of the ball. Thank you, Sammy. Hit the like button, all 1.2 watching. Need to get to 250 likes at least. Thank you, Sammy. Mr. Sunday Debriefs. I appreciate you, mate. Thank you. So look, we'll move on from these games and we'll go to there's still 3 more games to get to. Where should we go next? I feel like we should go Brighton. Brighton Fulham, there's quite a lot of FPL ownership there, especially for defenders. It was 0-0 at half-time, wasn't it? And everyone was going, oh, my Anderson defender or my De Kuiper, like, I'm going to get a clean sheet. And when you look at it, 45 minutes in, look at that, like 0.2, 0.3 XG for both teams. These guys were not getting chances. It was a proper boring, stale 0-0. And then second half comes in, and actually that goal made a massive difference. Now, Jorginho Rutter earns the penalty, and he didn't take it. We thought Rutter might be on pens. We weren't sure. We thought De Kuiper could be on pens. Remember, Danny Welbeck's not on the pitch. O'Reilly stepped up to take it. And then, look, Brighton deserved to win. It was from a corner late. They had a big chance. Fulham didn't have a big chance all game until Menezes' goal in the 90-whatever minute. Heartbreaking. I know managers out there, shout out FPL Tactician, who had double Brighton defence, Verbruggen, and I think De Kuiper, gutting, clean sheet wipeout right at the death. Minter goal disallowed in the 4th minute was also heartbreaking. That doesn't show on XG plots because it was disallowed. We'll talk about my team very briefly at the end. O'Reilly been linked with a move as well. O'Reilly's brilliant. I'm glad to see O'Reilly playing 10. He's played 10 all pre-season. The problem with O'Reilly playing 10 is when Welbeck is back fit, does Rutter play 10 and Welbeck get the 9 and O'Reilly drop out? It's slightly risky. Baleba is so good. And if he stays, he's a great pick. At United, he'll be a great pick too. But this is a 5 million option that hit DEFCON, hit 11 DEFCON, one short, and he hit it early and then came off. In terms of the shot map, the only big chance Fulham had was the goal. The only big chances Brighton had was the penalty and one other. It was a pretty boring game. But what does that show us? I think that shows us that the defenses are quite good from both. Like, you take away the penalty and both teams are under 1 XG. That shows me Fulham are going to be a good defence. Brighton could be better defence this season. And if they are, then we like De Kuiper very much. We like the Kuiper very much. Watch this space at 4.5 million because he's going to get some attacking, have some attacking upside as well. Ayari and Baleba could become that locked midfield too. And Max Vifa is listed as a midfielder, but played right back inverted, and he has all pre-season. He is a DEFCON beast, and he was last year too. Vifa will be one of the DEFCON players in the Premier League this year. Shame is listed as a midfielder, so you don't get the clean sheet points. And then look, Fulham. Wilson stood out and shone pre-season, and this is why pre-season scouting matters. The two players from these attacks that stood out pre-season were Jorginho Rutter and Harry Wilson. Both got the assists yesterday. So don't tell me pre-season doesn't matter, guys. It does, right? Josh King continues to start at 4.5 million, but when Smith Rowe came on, he got the shot. It was his shot that led to the corner. Smith Rowe probably going to replace Josh King very soon. So don't go straight on and go like 4.5 million, Josh King. Yes, it's great now, but I think Smith Rowe comes in and takes that spot. Is he still their club record signing? I think he might be. So yeah, Josh King was great. I don't know how long he'll be in the 11. By the way, the bonus point system here. Anderson with 8. He was too short. Look at Weaver, 19 defensive contributions. Baleba with 11. King got the 8 as well. And then the bonus points. Muniz gets the goal. Only plays, 15 minutes of the football match. Goes home with 3 bonus points. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you're forward scoring goals, he quids in. O'Reilly and Ayari as well. Both very, very useful yesterday. Smith Rowe didn't play well. But you need to get a tune out of him because you know what he's got. I think if you're the Fulham board and you're the Fulham manager, and he's a good lad, Smith Rowe. He's a good guy to have in the dressing room. He's not a rotten egg by any stretch. He's not come in with the big I am. He's going to get game time. He's going to find his form again because he's a class player. Okay, we'll move on then to Sunderland West Ham. Sunderland West Ham was loads of fun. Guys that had Sunderland defence and were on bench boost, loved that. I think many felt Sunderland might win this football match. And I'm glad they did. If you're on someone like a Jared Bowen, it's annoying, isn't it? Because it's 8 million and West Ham don't look like they're going to score much. They don't look like they're going to score much at all, actually. 0.68 XG for Sunderland. 0.54 for West Ham. It could have been a 0-0, but what Sunderland did was they took their chances. And what Sunderland are also going to do, they're going to score headed goals. And they've got a big presence in the box. Sometimes that might be a Mayenda or it might be leaving defenders up at set pieces. Now, we saw no big chances in the game. Look at this. The bigger the circle, the bigger the chance. Most of these shot maps, and by the way, these are all from Between the Posts. Shout out Between the Posts. They're amazing. I'll drop the Between the Post link in the description. Do check them out, guys, because I'm a member and I'm showing you all this for free. If you want to dive in the Between the Post areas to watch, to find your own maps, you can, but you have to pay. So yeah, benefit of the Sunday debriefs is you get it all for free. But no big chances, no big circles. Diouf and Wan-Bissaka are going to be a problem with the right fixture. They're going to clock points to the right fixture. They used Wan-Bissaka a ton, and we saw this for the run-in. A lot goes down that right-hand side. Diouf is the more fun pick. He's the more talented attacker, in my opinion. They're both 4.5 million. I think they'll both become good picks. Kilman will get lots of DEFCON. I don't hate West Ham. Are they in trouble this year? Probably going to be in and around it. Like, they're probably going to survive, but I'd say the bookies would have them probably 4th, 5th favourites to go down after the 3 newly promoted teams. Fulcrum didn't have a good game. Bowen is used almost in a front 2, and that is a great average position for Bowen. Whether it's a 4-3-3 or even if it's a 4-3-3, though, Bowen's position's that, but slightly wider. So the back 5 shape, the wing backs, lend itself to Bowen being a little bit more central, and Bowen will be a good pick still. The problem with Bowen is it's £8 million on a West Ham attacker. And how many goals will West Ham score? That's my problem there. I still like Diouf, and Diouf owners were unlucky. Here's Diouf's shot from the edge of the box. Not the best angle to see it, I don't know. But what we can see there straight away is... oh, Christ. Sorry, let me come out of that. That Diouf shot wasn't saved. It was cleared off the line, effectively. That's Dan Ballard's leg. That counted as a goal line clearance. So Ballard in the BPS was flying. Then he went and got DEFCON after this, and a clean sheet, and a goal. How many points did Ballard end with? Can someone tell me? It's 17, 18? My maths is crap. So he did everything yesterday. Goal line clearance, 3 bonus, goal, clean sheet, and DEFCON. Wow. Don't all go and buy Dan Ballard. He is 17. Thank you, guys. You don't all need to go buy Dan Ballard. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a good pick. Diouf was unlucky not to score. He hit it really clean and well from the edge of the box. And I think that's shown us Diouf will be a good finisher, but he's got a wonder of a left foot. We know that from his crossing pre-season. So Ballard got the headlines, and rightly so. Now, this is Ballard's goal tally per club from Transfer Market. Even at Arsenal under 18s, he did all right. Like 7 attacking returns and 35 is not bad. For a centre-back, these are good numbers. Like at Sunderland, 90 appearances. Every 9 games, he's getting an attacking return. It's not bad, is it? It's not the best centre-back record, and he's not going to go and get you a return every week. But he's clearly going to get some attacking returns. And if they leave him up at set pieces, as they did yesterday, he's going to get goals. Now, look, he's obviously plays in the back 2. He's going to get DEFCON as well. This is the Sunderland shape. Everything goes through Xhaka. Adingra was the outlet down the left, and they use Adingra a lot. It was Adingra's cross from the right for the Ballard goal. Reijnders can cause problems, but he was isolated for a long time. That first half wasn't great. And then off the bench, you get Isidore coming on from Reijnders and also scoring a goal. Both Sunderland number 9 scored yesterday. Now, where does that leave Mark Guiu? Because Mark Guiu is the popular choice. Now, Mark Guiu is currently 3rd choice number 9. And Sunderland only play with 1. I don't think we're going to get a huge amount of minutes from Guiu yet. An injury or an appearance off the bench where he scores, maybe. But make no doubt about it, Mark Guiu's not going to be starting Premier League football games anytime soon. I don't think. Reijnders and Isidore have just scored. That's given them 4 or 5 games credit in the bank. 2-3 games credit in the bank. There might be a world in which, come October, Guiu is starting football matches if he does well off the bench. But it's absolutely fine for Guiu to be rotten on your bench. He's a 4.5 million enabler. Unless you're bench boosting, Guiu's still a really good pick. I stand by that. Because you're getting more money into your 11 and you're not using your 3rd sub. And he should be your 3rd sub. But yeah, if you did need him to play, there is something in his contract, IceG. Sunderland have to pay a hefty fee if he doesn't hit an appearance target. Chelsea have put that in the loan agreement. He has gone with some assurances he'll get football. So yeah, you might see some price drop. Again, I don't mind the 0.1. He allows you to get an awesome 11 and money into your 11, and he will get some minutes. Okay, let's go off from Mark Guiu and Sunderland. Look, fair play Sunderland. Moving forward, the fixtures are still pretty for Sunderland. Burnley next week. I could see 0-0 in that one, not going to lie. Brentford, Crystal Palace, Villa, Forest. It's fine for Sunderland. No, free hit 2 is not for me. Let's move on away from Sunderland then and go to Villa. Newcastle was pretty boring. Although, look, it's got to be said, Newcastle should have won the football match. 1.44 XG, lots of chances. 0.35 from Villa. Villa were poor. 3 shots at home. After quite a good pre-season, that's concerning for Emery and co. Very concerning. So I did not like that from Villa. Did not like that if you own Rodgers. Did not like that if you own Watkins. I did. You got to do better. And I expect them to have an absolute rocket this week. And I expect Villa to go out against Brentford and score some goals. Let's see. It's Ollie Watkins against his old club next week. And then it's Crystal Palace, Everton, Sunderland, Fulham. If Ollie Watkins has another blank or 2, it's not just a blank that matters to me as a Watkins owner. It's his team not creating chances, and it's them not having any XG, and it's seeing 3 shots in a game and an open play XG of 0.11. That's the concerning thing for me. If that continues in game week 2, that continues in game week 3, then the world and their dog are selling Watkins and they're finding the money for Haaland, or they're going up to it, or they're going sideways to a Gyökeres. Let's see where we go here. I'd be slightly concerned after 1 game, but it is only 1 game. Let's not read too much into it. I expect against Brentford, Watkins to have some chances and Villa to create some chances. And again, I still think Villa could be active in the transfer market. Let's see. They've lost players like Rashford and Asensio, and they have brought 1 or 2 in, but you would say they're weaker this year in attack than they were at the end of last season. And for a club with aspirations that Villa have, you'd expect expect them to strengthen. They certainly haven't done. In terms of Newcastle, I will get to Newcastle in a second. Matty Cash, I think, got bonus. Obviously, look, sorry, this is probably slightly unfair. I did forget, I forgot this. Konza was sent off and they're playing with 10 men. Have to remember that for Villa. So they're going to create fewer chances. The Konza red didn't help them, but still, before the Konza red card, still not creating chances. Problem. John McGinn down the right. Some thought Marlon would start. Guys, it was always going to be a risky pick. Marlon, Buendia, McGinn can play there. Tielemans is a potential pick, though. Tielemans playing in the 10. Anana and Kamara behind him. Tielemans could also have penalties. Tielemans is also 6 million. It's Tielemans versus Watkins for pens. Tielemans still, I think, is a very good pick at 6 million with this position as the number 10. If you've just joined us, guys, we are going through game by game. We've gone through, and if you're watching on catch up, you can just skip. But I'm really enjoying the Sunday debriefs, and I want these to continue. So thank you for liking, but also thank you for hitting that subscribe button this morning. I think this morning I wanted to give away some channel memberships. So what we'll do, if you hit the subscribe button, 5 subscribers can win a membership. Let's do that. Let's just do that. So all you've got to do to win a membership is like and subscribe. And in the next couple of minutes, I will give away the memberships. So look, that's where we're at with Villa. And then Newcastle, Anthony Gordon played number 9. And you would expect that with no Isak, right? So when we look at these Newcastle fixtures, it's like, Gordon playing number 9. After next week, there's interest. Next week, they play Liverpool. They're right at the bottom of the ticker. But then it's Leeds, Wolves, Bournemouth. Anthony Gordon could be interesting. But he's not yet. Barnes played on the left. Alanga's impressive. And look, Sandro Tonali at 5.5. He is playing the 6 again. This is an important positional shift that we saw last season. We started the season with Bruno Guimaraes as the 6 and Tonali as the 8. Around game week, I'm guessing 20, Tonali moved to the 6, Bruno moved to the 8. Now, Tonali will be better at DEFCON playing in this role, but he offers less goal threat. 5.5 million, fine. But Reijnders is clearly still the pick, isn't he? We'll talk about my team in a second. If you're wondering and you join us from the top of the show, I showed some of this stuff from Scout. There's going to be some price drops this week. Isak, Konza, Wirtz, maybe Gvardiol. There's going to be a price rise tonight, guys, and it is from the boy wonder himself. Tijani Reijnders from the Scout predictions is expected to rise in price tonight, and we're not surprised why, are we? Tijani Reijnders is absolutely beast mode, playing an 8-10 hybrid. We called it pre-season. We knew Reijnders was going to be amazing. At 5.5, he makes a mockery of that price point. Took his goal so well. Tijani Reijnders is someone we want in our teams, and I understand why so many will be buying him tonight. In terms of DEFCON and bonus, the top performing midfielders in the game that got DEFCON, we saw a fair few. From Cullen upwards, Nico Gonzalez got it. We forgot it. Andre got it. Tyler Adams picked up 19 contributions. 2 extra points. Mo Salah, he won't be getting your DEFCON anytime soon, guys. It was just one of those games. In terms of defenders, we saw DEFCON for Aït-Nouri, popular own. Aït-Nouri got 15 contributions, and that's because Aït-Nouri's position was slightly different yesterday. Because he played with Doku and Bob, he played with out-and-out wingers. It means the fullbacks don't get forward. It means Ryan Aït-Nouri is playing left-back and Rico Lewis inverts. Now, when Pep goes for Marmoush or Foden or Cherky on the wings, Doku and Bob aren't there. It's Cherky, Marmoush, Foden there. Now, when that happens, it's overlapping fullbacks. It's Aït-Nouri high and wide, and it's Mateus Nunes high and wide. Probably not Rico Lewis in the 11 those weeks. Now, when that happens, you get more goals and assists for the likes of Aït-Nouri. But when it doesn't, and Aït-Nouri plays here, you've got every chance of getting extra points. Aït-Nouri picked up 1 bonus and 2 defensive contribution points. 3 extra points, effectively got an assist yesterday. The DEFCON has changed the way we pick FPL assets, and we have to note that. Dan Byrne, Matty Cash, Shah, Share, all picking up extras as well yesterday. Guys, all of this stuff is on the Scout members area if you want to check it out. There's loads of free stuff on Scout. So scan the QR code and just create an account and access all the free stuff. And if you want to be a member, you can. You can use the code in the description for an extra 5% off. Guys, I've really enjoyed going through this. That was a little recap on Reijnders. If you like this stuff, I've done it for every game. So go back and watch. You'll see it for all of the games. And if you're going to do one thing this morning, hit the like and subscribe button to win a membership. So what we're going to do, all you've got to do is chat the chat. All you've got to do is spam the chat in the next 30 seconds and I'll give out 5 memberships to 5 people that have just commented. So you can put random letters and numbers in there if you want. It goes randomly, okay? If I can work out how to do it. It's been a long time. So guys, in the next 30 seconds, 5 of you will win. If you're watching on catch up, unfortunately, you can't win. But drop a comment and I will reply to your comments on catch up. Thank you guys for everyone joining this morning. I've really enjoyed it. All you've got to do to win a membership is like, subscribe, and put something in the chat. And members will get extra videos every week. Like every couple of days, I'm doing extra content for my channel members. So it's coming anytime soon. Wanted to celebrate Game Week 1 in style, so wanted to gift those memberships early. Guys, thank you all for watching. Those memberships have been gifted. Let's see who's won them. It's moving too fast. Rory won, Mr. GW1, and a few others as well. If you haven't won and you want to buy a membership, you can at $2.99 a month. All the links are below. Guys, shout out Scout and Between the Posts. We've used a lot of their graphics this morning. Thank you very much, as always. And I will be out with a video on Monday about my team, okay? We haven't spoken about my team, but so far, I'm fairly happy. Reijnders coming in. Let's see how double Chelsea get on. Double Forest defence is a big one for me. Let's go, guys. Good luck on Sunday with your FPL teams. And I'll see you on Monday for a video about my team and my plans. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye.